Good morning, friends. Happy Friday and happy spring. I'm so excited that spring is finally here. Of course, I can't really tell by the weather, but it's coming. I saw robins today and all the geese are back and it's getting a little warmer. I mean, we've had some really warm stretches, but I'm waiting for my bulbs to pop. So that's the thing that I'm the most excited about. I've got a bunch of wildflowers that I've planted as well. So this will be an important year for me because I finally got some pretty things in my yard. So talking of pretty things, this paper pumpkin, just the box, was enough to tell me that this was going to be probably my favorite all year. I mean, just look at all this prettiness. I mean, I cannot wait. So this box, I actually ordered 3 paper pumpkin kits this month, because what I do every year or every other year is I create, and I actually probably should do it every year, is I create a box to store all my paper pumpkin past kits in. So sometimes I have a set of cards in there, sometimes I don't, but this is what I use to keep track of them and also to refer back to them for any future projects. And so this box, as you can see, is created from paper pumpkin kits. So these were from 2023 from Christmas. And you can see that I've got 2023 to 2024. But they've gotten so full, I really think I need one of these every year. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this on Monday, but not today. Today is going to be just exploring the kit and then doing a really wonderful scrapbook page. Before I get into this and show you the beautiful kit, I just want to share with you a verse that just kind of makes an imprint on my heart this week. And I pray, this is Ephesians 3:16. And I love Ephesians because it's like somebody's talking to me, or Jesus is talking to me. It says, I pray that out of his glorious riches, he may strengthen you with power through his spirit in your inner being. And I've talked about this resilience app and resilience book by John Eldredge, but just trying to create that inner resilience. I can't do it on my own. I really have to rely on the Lord to help me with that. So it just is a way for me to just remember that, to reach out to him, and that he can help me with this inner being and this inner Eden that I'd like to have in my heart, someplace that's safe that I can refer back to when things are of strife or trouble, or my husband's cancer, or losing a child, or losing my father. There's all these things that I can't do on my own. So that's the scripture for today. Hopefully that's helpful to you. Okay, so back to this beautiful paper pumpkin. So this month, March, is Paper Pumpkin's 12th birthday, and every March they give you 2 sets of stamps instead of just one. So I'll show you the graphic so that you can see what it looks like. They give you this is when you order the kit, not the refill. You get the 2 stamp sets. You get the Stampin' Spot. And then you have this really beautiful kit. So as you can see from the instructions, the cards are just phenomenal. They're so gorgeous, and they're just popping up off the page with their 3D elements. And so, like I said, we're not going to put any cards together today, but I just wanted to get to this graphic so I can show you what these stamp sets look like. So aren't these great? Great birthday. It's got more of the hive or honeycomb. And then, of course, we have the Spring is in the Air dies, which coordinated with the first quarter, which was, this one was January, this one was February, and it was the herbs. And then this one is March, which has a little bee, and this die coordinates with this stamp set. And then you've got this bee is just die cut. It doesn't match the bee, but it's so sweet. I love this. So this is Harvest Hive stamp set, and this is Daisy Daydream. So just really, really beautiful. Okay, so let's get to all this beautifulness. So along with the kit, you get you're going to get some little these are dimensional strips that allow you to have a card front that pops up, and then some smaller dimensionals, and then glue dots. And then you get these coordinating envelopes, and aren't they beautiful? Just so precious. I just love these. Just so pretty. Little bee, so cute. Oh my goodness, I can't get over it. And then of course you've got the cards that coordinate with it. So let me just pull these out so you can kind of see. So this card coordinates with this envelope, and then this card base coordinates with this envelope, and then this card base coordinates with this envelope. And then this is the 3D element that pops up. You've got the green that comes behind. It's so pretty. And just so that you can see what these cards look like, let me just pull this out so you have a chance to see it. So this one is the little green that pops up. Isn't that beautiful? And then this one is the blue one, which it's somewhere between the Lost Lagoon and Pool Party. So it's a really beautiful neutral color. And then we've got this one that just pops up with daisies. It's so pretty. And then you've got 3 sheets of all these daisies that go with different cards. Got this one with the stem. They've got these adorable little bees, and then all these daisies fit perfectly on this card front. So it just makes it 3D. So super special. And then you've got some honeycomb, which it's got a little bit of a kind of a shimmer to it. I want to say it's more iridescent than like gold foil. So pretty. And then there's these really beautiful labels. Just look at all their gorgeous shapes, and to go with all these sentiments. And between the 2 stamp sets, you've got 7 sentiments actually that could go on all of these beautiful labels. So then there's a little bit of vellum that it layers with one of these sentiments. So lots to do, lots of beautifulness. And if you didn't get the stamp set, if you sign up for Paper Pumpkin, hey Linda, you can always get the refill. You just won't have all the stamps that go with it. So you won't have the stamps, and you won't have the Stamp and Spot, and of course you won't have a block. But your first Paper Pumpkin you will. Okay, so let's get to what I have in mind. So this is just a rough layout of what I want for my scrapbooking layout. So what I've got here is I've got some of these daisies framing my granddaughter, and then I've got one of these cards that I'm going to cut down, but I want to do some things to the background first. So my photos that I get from my stepchildren and son-in-law and daughter-in-law's website, they ship from Japan, and they ship 3.5 by 5. So can't do anything about it. I can't make them any bigger. But what I'm able to do is I find that they fit really nicely within an A2 card half. But I'm going to actually cut it down just a smidge so that it's a little bit more, just the 1/4 inch bigger than my picture. So, or 1/2 inch. So this is 3.5 by 5. So I want my card or my layer to be 4 by 5.5. So I'm just going to cut that down real quick. And then I have this really nice layer all the way around it. And then I have taken one of the envelopes. Let me just get the envelope out so you can see what I'm talking about. And, oops, not the right one. So I've taken one of these envelopes and I've cut it open because I want it to be another layer. I like the bee, I like the daisy, and I won't have to do anything to it because it's already got some of these. So the way I cut them out, so normally I would just cut down the side and then be able to open it up. But I wanted the full width of it as much as possible, but that when I tear it open, it ends up with these frayed edges. So that's the best way to take it, is just cut this off with your cutter, and then you end up with this really nice, precise edge, and you don't end up with a little bit of ragged edges. But these ragged edges will be covered up with daisy pieces, so nobody's going to notice that. Okay, so I've got that layer. And then I've got a full card base because I want the extra color, and I love the way this box looks. So let me just show you what I mean. I love the look of this box and the way the color looks. So I'm going to be using the stamp set, the free stamp set that came with the kit, and I'm going to be creating this with this background. Okay, but I do need it to be just a smidge smaller than what I have here. So I think, or maybe I could just cut my little, I think what I'll do is cut this down a little bit because I don't like this frayed edge anyway. So I'm just taking like a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch off. And I like that. I like that look. So, okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, so starting out with the scrapbook page, I'm using a piece of willow white, or white willow. And I think that just because when I'm working with kits, the kits have a different color to them. Their white is brighter than basic white. And so I love the white willow. So I'm going to use that as my base. And then I'm going to use a little bit of this Daffodil Delight. Now, they have crushed curry for their color, but I feel like the crushed curry is just a little bit too dark. So, all right, I'm going to go off the edges a little bit, and I'm also going to stamp off because I want, so I want to be able to do both. Just kind of get the same feel that's on here. And I feel like the color is almost too dark. So let's put this down at the bottom, stamp off, and I like that better. And I'm going to just put some out here in the middle, close to where my photo is going to be. And I need one down in this corner as well. And let's just kind of test where this is going to be. So I think maybe one more down here. And I think that will work for what I'm trying to do. So maybe a little bit more around the edge. That works. I think that makes it just bright and cheerful, super springy. Okay, now I'm going to do a little bit of blending and just add a little bit more color around this central point. So I'm not being super careful because I just want it to be just a hint of color, so that when I lay this down, not worrying about the middle because that gets covered up. Looks like I need a little bit more down here. And then I can add a little to the corners. Okay, so I think I'm going to use this corner down here because I'm gonna. So one of the other things I want to do is I want to use one of these envelopes and to kind of tear a corner. Let's see, which one do I want to use? I think I want to use one of the blue envelopes. And I'm going to pop a little bit of this underneath. So what I'm going to do is create a little corner piece. Or maybe I could get rid of the piece I don't like here. So let me just show you what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to tear a little bit of this. And I don't want it to be too big. That gets rid of that piece that I made a mistake on. And I'll cut this straight, and then just these daisies will pop out down here in this corner. And I just love this color and this daisy. It's just so pretty. And then I can add a little piece or cut a little piece out here, tear a little piece out, and add this corner. So I really love this color. Okay, so let me just show you what that looks like. Let me take off the So I've just made this a straight edge. So where this was an envelope flap, I made it into a straight edge. And then I think I want a little bit more of the daisies to show. So I'm going to tear a little bit higher. And I just like that little peak of color that comes out with something coordinating. There we go. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add glue all along this edge. I'm trying not to add very much because it really goes crazy. So I don't want it to wiggle. Just making sure that the line lines up. And then there you have it. You just have this little pretty extra. Okay, so now I need to add some color to this. So I really just clean off this stamp pad. I don't want to lose any of my bumblebees or daisies. And get rid of the yellow. All right, so now I'm going to use some of this Lost Lagoon. And again, I'm going to stamp off because I think it's too dark otherwise. And just add a little bit of color along the edges and the corners. Okay, and then when this gets layered on it, just has all those really beautiful honeycombs. Okay, and then one other layer needs a little bit of accent. And because this is just going to show up along the edges, okay. And that's all I needed for the extra color. Okay, get some of these stamps out of the way. Now, you don't have to layer as much as I like to layer, but I think it really just adds depth to your scrapbook page. So now let's get this first piece down. And I know there is a score mark in the middle of this card, so I don't like to do it to the front of it, but from the back, you can kind of minimize it a little bit just by using your bone folder. And it's less noticeable, but with all the things that I'm going to have layered on this, you really won't notice it. So I know this doesn't look like enough glue, but remember I'm going to be using a page protector when I'm done. And so I think that looks fairly centered. I think that looks good. All right, so now I'm going to put, this is my envelope that I spread open. I just love that little bumblebee up there. I'm going to make sure it shines through so it looks like it's climbing in and out of a hive. And I forgot to get rid of that crease. So from the envelope, this one I got rid of. Okay, and then last will be this one. So it just looks like he's kind of crawling underneath the paper, which if I was a child still, I'd be terrified of. I was looking at a little Facebook post and it cracked me up because it was so true. I just saw bees as these terrible things that just kind of kept I'd step in the grass on a dandelion and there was a bee on it and I'd get stung and then I'd have this nasty, painful sting forever. All right, so that's beautiful by itself, but adding some of these daisies as a frame, just take your photo to the next level. I mean, aren't these daisies precious? And then of course I'm adding another little bee over here, and I'm adding another little bee here. Now because I'm using 2 card bases to make this, I'm going to use some more of these, but I'm going to cut these apart. And I need to remember to have this little piece ready. And I have all these extra pieces that I can make other things into. So I have this little daisy over here, and I want this daisy to kind of pop out right here on this edge. So you can see that just going to have a little bit of that daisy popping out on that one side, and I think that just kind of makes it so fun to give it a little bit more dimension as well. So I don't need quite so much of this. I have a recycle on this side, so sorry about that. All right, so let's just put a little glue along here, spreading it around a little bit with the tip, and then I need to pull it back over so I can see where I'm placing it. And I want all of the daisy to show. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to cut a little extra along the edge of my scrapbook base, just to get that perfect. And then I have this, one of my favorite little punches that I use for my scrapbooks. And for some reason I'm not remembering the name of it, but just as a reminder. And then I can stamp a sentiment on this. I can cut it in half and use it in 2 different places, but you know, just a little extra something. So I have some sentiments that are part of this, and what I want is, instead of sweetest birthday wishes, I want sweetest wishes. So I'm going to ink up around the word birthday. You can use the stamping or a Stampin' Write marker. And then I have some scraps of white willow that will help me just add some little sentiments. And then I want the sentiment hello. So I'm going to use the hello. And then I have enjoy your special day. So I don't know why she had that beautiful hat, but it may have been she went to church or something. But so I'm just going to put this little hello right here. Isn't that cute? And then I have different size scraps. So I'm going to put enjoy your special day, because that can be birthday or it can just be added to your scrapbook page. And then this one that says sweetest birthday wishes, I want it to just be sweetest wishes. Let's see if it'll fit on this little scrap. Actually, it'll fit on this little scrap as well. So I like this. Okay. Probably shouldn't stamp over the top of my scrapbook page. Okay. So we want sweetest and we want wishes. Just making sure. Sweetest wishes. I love it. And this one will need to be up and down. And I can actually cut it down so it's a little bit smaller as well. Okay, so let's get this to the side. But that's just kind of some creative ways to get some other sentiments into your scrapbook page. And then I also want to get some of the little beehive pieces. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. So I'm just going to use a couple of them. And then we're going to have the little flowers. And I want my little bee to show up. And I want my other little bee right there. And I've got and then I'm going to stamp Hello Spring up here in Lost Lagoon. So let me get a block that's big enough for that. This is from Storybook Life. And let's make sure it's big enough. Looks like it. Let's make sure it's straight. Sorry, let me just do this off camera. I want it to be straight. And I want to put this down before I put too many things down and I can't get my sentiment in there. Beautiful. This is such a cheerful page. My goodness, I love it. Okay, so I told you I was going to use this flower as well and maybe add some more daisies. But I'm not sure that I need to. Well, maybe I can. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to snip these daisies to make 3 pieces. So this one, so I've got 3 different daisies, and so I can just continue to add these precious little daisies around all these different things. Let me glue this down so it doesn't keep moving. I think I'll just add it there. That looks like a perfect spot. What do you think? Excuse me. Sneezes. I am happy, and I don't know that we need to add anything else. Maybe a few splatters, but not really. I think it's just precious like it is. So let's just get all this stuff nailed down. So I'm going to use dimensionals because I want my little daisies to pop. And I do try not to get my dimensionals on my photos. So let me just make sure that I've got enough little ones. The little spots. Okay, just need one more little one right here. And that way, if for some reason I need to take out that picture, I can. All right, and then let me just make this a little, well, I think it's fine. So let's, I think I need some tiny dimensionals for along this little stem. Because I want the stem to pop up as well. Clean up this daisy just a little bit. Where I snipped it apart. There we go. It looks like the daisies are just kind of continuing up, doesn't it? I just love that. Okay, so this one, even though it pops up, I'm going to slide a little bit under this hello. And then I've got this B, so I'll put a big dimensional. Nope, won't work. It needs to be smaller. So this bee will hold down the honeycomb, and let's pop up this daisy. And this daisy. So looks like I need some smaller ones. So I want this here. And then I want this one here. And then I can put this oops, this one goes over here. So let's kind of hide it under the little bit of the daisies. And then this one, and then we've got this bee that needs to be popped up. Oops, don't want that dimensional there. He is going to hold down this little piece, and then I need to pop up these, and we'll be done. So it just took a little over 30 minutes to put this together. So hopefully you are taking the opportunity to create a beautiful scrapbook page with your Daisy Daydream paper pumpkin kit. Isn't that pretty? You never know. You never know how bright and cheerful it can be. I love this. All right. Thank you so much for watching. If you are watching later on YouTube, please like and subscribe and share with a friend. And if you want step-by-step instructions, you can always rewind this, go through it again. But I'm going to put all the measurements of these items on my blog. And so be sure to visit wildvioletsart.com and sign up for my newsletters, and you'll get a copy of the step-by-step instructions for this page. So thanks so much for watching, and I'd love to see you again here at Wild Violets Art. Thank you.